all these fucking Turkic cells operative now in Bristol. You made a big mistake fucking with the Primakov mob. Indeed, the Semenov mob were one thing, but the Primakov mob were another. But they're running around selling all this crazy opioid dung smack with the Bengalis and coordinating everything from now Fishponds Peace Inquiry Office has become an FSB hub. These FSB agents are all Turkic. They're all Turkic. Like, Saturn's agent, GRU, is a little bit bewildered by it all. Because the FSB are going around making people swear on the Talmud, saying at the same time Woolsey's a Zionist. Woolsey's not a Zionist. The FSB are Zionists, mate. Like, they're above the Zionists and they're above the Mossad in terms of the grand scheme of intelligence agency warfare. Mossad are a NATO team force, really. But the FSB are the CSS, OGP, UKGP, Department of State Security, Ministry of State Security, Committee of State Security, whatever you want to call it. And their main head honcho is Abbé Evgeny Primakov, Alhambra Cult / Society of Jesuits, or the Bektashi Dervishes, who is also known by the name Samuel Madison or Samuel Maitlands. He does indeed look quite English. But there's another level above him. You've got certain elements of the Kutaisi mob, and then the Karmics at the top of the chain. So the FSB are here to basically stop the Fishlitz, Maitlands, Barlow, Don McCult, paedophile rings being exposed any way they possibly can. Because the Don McCult exposure on this level is basically the same as out in the Alhambra Cult again, which I did several years ago at Grenville Lodge number 1787 when I outed Christoph Paulitz, etc., known at the time as Stefan Haviland, and Julian Lovelock, Ishmael Levitz, and David Ponassier, Craig Oxley, Menachem, Menwish Nielsen Begin. And like, it's a bit crazy that the night I out Primakov, all these FSB agents turn up in town. And suddenly there's epidemics of Bengalis, opioid dung smack. And the pinners, like, worthily take it and quite happily swear on the Talmud and try and fuck Woolsey over because the pinners hate me. The pinners hate me because, like, I don't take as much pin as them. I don't want to. Like, I haven't got my full brain. And I'm rather small. So a tiny bit of heroin affects me quite strongly. I don't really like the stuff anyway. I don't like the culture associated with it. I don't like the degradation associated with it. And I certainly don't like a lot of the people associated with that culture. But they're very silly. Because I don't know what they're expecting from the world. But Primakov Mob is another level. It's the effective Primakov Mob is effectively the same as bringing in Count Anton Turco again. You know what I'm saying? Or Quranists and Czechists everywhere, making people swear on the Talmud. Like, this is the thing, they use the Talmud and Quran interchangeably. Indeed, they're pretty similar books, really. And that reminds me of Rabbi Jan Irvin, always talking over Todd's parts in the interviews, the Islamic Illuminati and whatnot, ruining the interviews. He's connected to Mitt Romney, Military Intelligence, Turkey Technicon Romanov, which is another level regarding the Mormon Church. The Mormon Church has more tunnels in it than any other church, really, in that region. It's absolutely crazy, but it's all, the New World Order is all coordinated from Muscovy. And like, with Putin potentially dead, it means Abbé Evgeny Primakov is now the main guy, like, to prop up Muscovy. And with Beklevkion going on, probably for the rest of my life, the FSB aren't going to let this go. As expected, as stated, Saturn's aliens GRU are a little bit bewildered by it all. This will come down rather quickly, but it's probably working out for the best in many ways. Because the FSB is showing themselves to be twats around Bristol. They look very Turkic, don't they? They don't look like me at all, do they? No, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, ethnic Russians don't look like these Turkic twats. Like, these are like something else. Absolutely mental people. So the Maitlands boys have now got an unlimited supply of Novichok, synthetic fentanyl and whatnot, to dose and basically cleanse the population via narco-terrorism, narco-Jesuit communism, narco-Jesuitry and whatnot. And Rosy's got up in the middle with all of the Islamicists wanting to rape him, which is all a bit bewildering also. And Abe Evgeny Primakov screaming for my fucking head. Probably watching me through the camera right now. Hello, Evgeny. Like, I think you're a very stupid man. I think you're a piece of shit as well. And a pussy. And a faggot. But that's just my opinion. It's a beautiful thing that the FSB have turned up in town to defend the Barlow, Fitch's, Maitland's, paedophile ring, Tom cultists. Now that all the Luboviches are being exposed, like, what with the Lubovich dynasty being very closely related to the Maitland's dynasty, though the Maitland's dynasty is slightly above the Luboviches in terms of the grand sphere of things. But as stated, there are still levels above Primakov. The Kalmyks are the Khazars, the Kutaisi mob, sort of like on a similar same page as the Maitland's Sherpas, really. And above these Maitland's Primakov Sherpas, you've got the Kalmyks, and the Kalmyks, I've explained before, centered around the Palavicini, aka the Ulyanovich dynasty, which gave us Lenin and the Leninist New World Order, and resulted in the genocide of 66 to 100 million ethnic Rus Christians during the years of the Leninist and Stalinist purges alone. Like, I don't know how big the figure is. It's probably much, much more than that. But they hate us. The Turkics hate us for some reason. I don't know what it is, but the Turkics just want to destroy us. Like, but Muscovite and Russian intelligence agencies are notorious for their conflicts. So, I don't know what could happen here. I'm going to keep operating. See what happens. Putin used his death ray on me when I outed Abe Alexander Navalny, Alan Brocult / Society Jesuits, aka Gerhard Schmitz. And he is a Jesuit priest and Alan Broccultist, heavily involved in politics in the People's Republic of Donetsk, Lugansk, which is an occupying force in the Donetsk Basin, working together with Banderists of the Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists and Stetskovites of the anti-Bolshevik bloc of nations, in the form of such forces as the Azov Battalion, which are all coordinated from Muscovy. Indeed, the Ukrainian Tatar slave traders are agents of Muscovy. And continue to be. There are rumours that if you've got a Bulgarian passport and you go across to the Macedonoids, Ushkip Fortress headquarters, Tito's Black Palace, aka the headquarters of the Bulgarian Novi Society, you meet Dugin, Delababa, Ulhulu Nadim, Alan Brocult / Society Jesuit / Order of Mevlevis, Order of Malta, and then two Crimean Tatars put a gun to your heads, each side, and make you touch up a little child to be able to go with a Bulgarian passport to Britain, which is all pretty fucked up, really. But that's the Bektash Brotherhood of Ulhulu Nadine for you. Well, out in the Bektash Brotherhood of Ulhulu Nadine is one thing, but out in Abe Evgeny Primakov is another. Samuel Mavison. This is some crazy shit. The FSB going around like acting like Turkic Deuteronorthern twits, making people swear on the Zionist Talmud, is pretty insane. Pretty insane indeed. So where is all this Novichok coming from? It all makes sense now, what with the FSB being in town, and all this Bengali smack made of like dirt fentanyl or some sort of synthetic concoction, and dung, 98% dung probably, because the Bengalis do not give a fucking shit who they hurt.